Oh, but this article was crazy to me. So, like a week ago, the reason I have to bring it up is because like a week ago, a University of Pennsylvania professor asked their students what they thought the average American worker earns per year. And I'm curious on what you thought it
Right.
was. What would you say is the...
Oh God, I'm bad at
No,
this.
no, you
So
you
I already
will
know
not
about
be
this.
as bad as these kids apparently.
Where did you say that they were asking? Who did you say they were asking?
University of Pennsylvania college students.
Okay, Pennsylvania is relatively, well, a little better off. Let's see.
Well, what
I'm gonna say.
what do you think is
maybe
the national income? This is national income. What do you think the number is?
national? Well, there's a lot of
Average.
different like minimum wages in different states. So I would say that there's a lot of states that would bring it down. So the national average would probably be around 40. 40,000 a year.
Okay, you actually went lower than the average. You're a lot closer than them because so the average in their I forget if it was their state or their county was 45,000. The average annual income is actually 56 according to 2020. 56,310.
Oh,
20 this professor's students 25% believe the mean annual income was over 100,000.
Ah, Jesus.
And there was one student that responded it was over 800,000. Yes, 8. And
honestly, I think that person's never had a job.
No,
like they've just never had a job.
I'll be honest. I think most of these
straight up.
Be honest, most of these.
Well, yeah, most of them. Yeah, they've just never had a job. They don't know what like a normal income is.
When I first read 800,000, I was like, this person had to write this as a joke. But then I thought of like all the people all the kind of people I met at college, and yeah, there's that one. There's that one that could have.
That one.
There's that one that was like 800,000. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I mean, my parents make like 2 million, so I mean, it's like half of that, right? Like, it's like it just like very little perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perspective is a good word.
Like,
me being constantly wearing money, like I get tacos at the same place every Tuesday because they're 50 cents cheaper. Because Taco Tuesday every week I go to the same place because that basically $2.50 off a meal, and it's like quality. My digestive system's like get diverse foods, but can't pass up a deal.
Right.
Can't pass up a
deal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of deals, did the last episode we record? I don't know if we talked about your game purchase.
My game purchase. I made a big one this week. Big one this week. We talk about the only game series to exist, Persona. The best and only RPG to ever exist. My favorite series of all time. The only one that you ever need to play. Persona, and Persona 2, a game that a lot of fans don't actually, I think, talk about too often.
Really?
I feel like the hardcore fans, like they're like, 2 is the best, obviously. Yeah. But like the general,
the mainstream starts at 3.
The mainstream, starts at 3 exactly. So I was like, this is one of the things I need to get to be a hardcore Persona fan. So I finally pulled the trigger, got Persona 2 Innocent Sin for the PlayStation Portable
for
$300. Look, I'm supporting my local businesses. Okay, I got it at a game store close to us. I love supporting them. I've bought games there for years. They always give me 98% of the time they give me, the quality I'm looking for.
$300 on a PSP game.
$300 on a PSP.
That's some money. That's some change.
Dude, it's crazy. Video game prices, classic video game prices, like physical media is like just like it just goes up and it does not go down. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And those games haven't been re-released since then. So that was like the last re-release of that game. So it's insane.
If they ever remake 2, will you be pissed? No,
I'd be really happy.
Okay.
if they remade it, if they just do another like port, I still wouldn't be mad because I still like playing it on original hardware.
Okay.
That's what I like. So it wouldn't really get me mad.
That's understandable then.
You know what I mean? Yeah, no. So that's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
it is what it is. I mean, I've saved up for a long time. I like that game was there for at least I'd say maybe like 4 months. I think around there. So it was just sitting there for like 4 months. No one buying it, obviously. It's fucking $300.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if it was flying off the shelves.
Yeah, exactly. So it was waiting for me there. It was waiting for me there until I had the money. So, you know, it is what it is.
Have you played it?
I have. I'm currently playing it.
Okay.
Because whenever I buy a new game, I play it for at least 2 weeks before I either keep playing it or I never play it again.
Yeah.
You feel me? I feel like that's the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
And it's.
But speaking of big purchases, somebody else made a big purchase this last week. Sony bought Bungie. We haven't talked about this yet.
Yeah, that is interesting. An interesting one.
An interesting. I mean, I don't know, the drama frog in me is telling me like, yo, Sony's just like, okay, you bought Activision Blizzard, Microsoft, but you know, we got your kid. What do you want from us?
So you think it's petty?
Yeah, I think it's petty. It's funny. But obviously that's not the case. Like they make these deals probably months, possibly years in advance. So it's just a funny coincidence that, you know, this is all going down. But it makes sense because Sony doesn't really have like a lot of multiplayer like studios that are known for making multiplayer games, or like these big, you know, or even like FPS games. Even like they're known for a lot of like the single player action games. So it really makes sense for them to acquire someone like Bungie, who already has experience in multiplayer and has a lot of experience in FPS. The rumors are right now is that there's possibly that they're going to make a sequel to Dying Light.
Dying Light isn't there Dying Light 2, or is that? Or am I stupid?
Or was it Dying Light or some possibly another franchise? I don't remember. Like there was an old competitor to Halo back in the day. I thought it was Dying Light, but it might be something else. I might be confusing it with Dying Light 2 that I think maybe just is just releasing. Something like that. But there's a game franchise, an old game franchise that they might revive with Bungie's help, I think, maybe.
I don't know. The acquisition just seems off to me. It's mostly due to the state of their games in the future. Like, did they buy this because in the future, the companies purchased by Microsoft are going to go exclusive or not be on PS4 or PlayStation in the future? Because that would seem off to me. But then, is it really just to expand into having a multiplayer online experience? Because that would be off. Because
I mean, personally, I think Sony's just trying to grab as many studios as they can, so Microsoft doesn't lock them out of it. You know, exclusive, like good exclusives. I mean, to me, it makes sense. To me, it's logical. Because I mean, if they wanted to, they could lock the PlayStation out of Call of Duty. They could lock them out of, you know, lock them out of any Bungie game, like Overwatch 2 or something like that. They could lock them out of a lot of things with how much that purchase was, you know.
Don't know if they would. I don't know, like on a business standpoint, if the numbers would justify it though. Because
I mean, if they're all exclusive to Xbox, who wouldn't want to buy an Xbox? Plus with games.
No, but I'm saying like think of all those games, because the thing is, Microsoft purchased all these companies, so then as a publisher, like that's a lot of sales you would miss out on in every release. And
what if PlayStation didn't exist anymore?
I think in the you'd have to think like it wouldn't be something to do soon. I think the amount you'd lose over each year would not be able to justify.
The problem is it's Microsoft. The gaming even isn't their main business. It's Microsoft. They have so much money.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're the the company with the third highest profit reserves. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's Microsoft. They can do whatever they want.
See, but the crazy thing is, Microsoft is still only the third largest video game entity behind Sony, and God knows what the third one is, I think. Or the first or second one is. So I'm very curious.
See, but video game entity, but they're one of the largest entities in general.
Mm-hmm. But I'm saying that
so they have money to spare.
I think that, but what I'm saying is that I think PlayStation would still be able to
a force, right, to survive, but like for how long without like a lot of like really popular games, really money making games, like something like FIFA. If they were to go for EA, like the rumor states that Microsoft is looking to go grab EA.
Oh yeah, if they continue to acquire like studios like that, then you'd actually have to worry about a vertical monopoly.
Monopoly.
Yeah, vertical monopoly too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm thrown off by it. I'm very curious on how Sony plans to utilize the acquisition of Bungie. Because, Bungie is good studio. I love the Halo games, and then Destiny was enjoyable when I played the first one. Second one I didn't really play too much of. So I'm wondering how that goes.
Honestly, I forgot I actually have Destiny 2. I forgot I had it. But I mean, it wasn't my thing, but I know that community is super tight.
Oh yeah.
People love that game.
But I would never imagine them to release if they were releasing another Destiny, that they would make it PlayStation exclusive, because then I don't see how they would take out their PC community.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
By making sure that the games they make are on PC, then you can't really avoid it being on Xbox with how integrated things are becoming with their game passes and everything.
Yeah.
But you mentioned community, and it brings me to a game that I've been playing, Final Fantasy XIV.
Final Fantasy XIV, man. Man, you have so much more of an ability to grind. I played Final Fantasy XIV for probably around I'd say a month, maybe a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only gotten to level 20 because I don't have I don't grind. I don't know if I have the ability to grind right. At least not right now. But man, you fucking overtook me in, I think less than a week, less than 2 days.
Yeah, it was 2 days. Honestly,
yeah,
I was higher level than you on my first day.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's I've been playing it. I'm level 35 as a gladiator, and then level 20 as a miner, and a 20 as an armorer. But it's just naturally, I find myself just exploring the world, and that gives a bunch of XP for discovering new areas, and then you find quests in those areas. So I'm way over leveled for the main storyline. The main story is
what most people consider the main part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people who consider Final Fantasy 14 kind of a Final Fantasy game with community elements. So it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny the way you play it is different from the majority way people play it, which is just a story game or something.
Yeah, it's
just funny.
Level 35, and I just started doing level 17 story missions. And the reason I brought community is because everyone who I've met in Final Fantasy 14 have been really nice, and it's actually been pretty fun. Because, when I was exploring, I ended up in areas where there were level 50 guys. And as a tank, I naturally should be looking at my health, but I was also confident in my armor. So I was not looking at my health. And I end up dying.
Right.
And so there's a thing, if you're a healer or any of the white mage classes, where you can res someone.
Mm-hmm.
So I was typing in all chat to anyone nearby me to hey, can you res me? I was sending whispers, DMs, basically saying, hell, just in all caps, help me. And luckily, like a group of 3 people came and, res me. While basically 2 of them were fighting off defending, and then 1 of them was just res me. And, my heart goes out to them. And then a situation like that happened on the other side, where I came across someone who died. And I am not a healer. So I DM'd them like, sorry, I can't heal you. And they're like, yeah, don't worry, just taking a nap. And I was like, okay, good luck on your day. I just had to walk by that corpse because I need a class change. That's all I gotta say. I want to get a basic level healer so that I can res people who died. So I could res people who died. I felt bad. But it's been fun.
Wait, can you not change your class like dynamically in Final Fantasy 14?
No, I could change it. It's just I need to initiate that class change.
Right.
I just haven't done that yet. A lot of other like side piece news that was this week.
Side piece news.
Because we had Valkyrie announcing she's staying with YouTube Gaming for 2022. Pokemon's contract's up in the air. We'll probably get an announcement next week.
We got the free
agent.
Pokemon.
T1 was disqualified from a Valorant Open qualifier because their coach typed in all chat. I was going to ask the question, does the coach get fired from this because they brought an aspiring roster that had good chances to make it far? Mm-hmm. And then, that happened. But it turns out before I could answer that question, he got suspended already. So they haven't fired him, but he is suspended. What else? Ice Poseidon, that's actually something you know more about.
Ice Poseidon. So Ice Poseidon, for those who don't know, is an old Twitch streamer. I even looked into this subject a little bit today, and he used to be a RuneScape streamer way back in the day. He's been a really influential streamer. He was big when IRL was really big before COVID. IRL streaming, so streaming in just real life situations. He was huge in it. He's been this kind of provocative figure. He had a really toxic. He was really well known for having a toxic community. And he was really just well known for being a toxic figure in the community. Mm-hmm. And until he got banned from Twitch, he got permabanned. He is like Voldemort in Twitch. Can say his name even. He got raided by the FBI. Ever since, he's kind of just been on the periphery. People talk about him every once in a while. He made some other streamers famous that are famous now, like Miskiff.
Oh.
But he recently got caught up in a crypto scandal, which was exposed by this guy named CoffeeZilla. And they exposed that he... do you have more of those details into what the actual crypto scheme was?
I don't know exactly. I just know it was a scam. And
yeah, it was a scam where I think he dumped on a coin he made or something like that. Probably. I mean, that's usually what it is. But yeah, so he scammed his viewers out of money, and then he said later in an interview with this guy that exposed everything, CoffeeZilla, he said that he could give back the money, but he's gonna look out for himself. So he's gonna keep all that money for himself. And which is funny because there's another clip of him, I don't know how long ago, maybe a year ago, I think, saying he's not gonna make a coin, a crypto coin, because if he saw $1 million in his wallet or whatever, he was gonna sell. He wasn't gonna hold to keep the value of the coin up or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. He would sell as soon as he can make money.
Yeah.
So people should have seen this from a mile away. In all honesty, yeah.
Yeah, he scammed over 500,000 from his fans.
Yeah,
and my apologies, but if you lost money through this, you gotta be smarter. You gotta learn from this.
You got man. Get good.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How many more?
So literally, if Ice Poseidon was sponsoring something, I think I would just go far away from whatever that thing is.
Yeah, I'd never heard of this guy until this incident. Yeah. I gotta give it to him, to completely say, I had the quote of what he said, because it was just so outlandish. I don't know. He said, yeah, I could give the money back. It is within my power, but I'm gonna look out for myself and not do that. Who the fuck does that? just lie. Just be like, I've never seen the money. I don't know what you're talking about.
What money?
What money? What the hell? Yeah, that's crazy. Another scam. Oh, also, a game came out that people have been talking about. Pokemon Legends.
Pokemon Legends Arceus.
That's what I was gonna ask you. How do you pronounce it? Arceus or Arceus?
Arceus.
I pronounce it Arceus.
Yeah.
And
that's how I've always heard it be pronounced.
No, but the thing is,
who are these heathens saying Arceus?
The thing is, apparently in all the
Nintendo
all the English, like all the English films, English Nintendo pronounce it Arceus. But Japan, it's Arceus. So it's a very off
with the sub. We're gonna say Arceus.
The sub over dub argument comes back. No, I've always pronounced it Arceus. When I've heard someone say Arceus for the first time,
I just feel like that's been the colloquial way of saying it, is Arceus.
Really, I've heard friends pronounce it Arceus, and I was very thrown off at first. But I guess both are technically correct. Technically. For the Western audience, it's Arceus, which is off-putting to me.
It's off-putting. I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, no.
But I heard the graphics are bad. The gameplay loop is interesting, but not well developed yet, and it should be better developed.
Really?
So, yeah.
Interesting.
That's what I heard now. Like, at first I'd heard it was just kind of bad and uninteresting, but as time has gone on, I've heard that the mechanics are interesting and a step forward in the franchise. So, like, a welcome breath of fresh air, I guess, but it's still not quite as developed as people want it to be. So maybe if they ever come out with a sequel for this game, maybe that's when this kind of Pokemon game maybe kind of like takes over the style, maybe takes over or has influence on the mainline games, maybe possibly. I don't know. It seems like a lot of people just want a different, like a Pokemon game that like plays a little differently, right?
That's true.
The classic.
People just love the Pokemon universe.
RPG the classic like RPG that's existed forever, Yeah. I guess people just thought look at it as like a welcome change.
Okay. Also, for those streamers out there, there was some news. Elgato officially released the Stream Deck plugin, and like a Discord Stream Deck plugin, so that now you can actually have official Discord on the little Stream Deck device. I have a little mini right here. But then the more interesting thing that they released was a Stream Deck pedal, which is a foot pedal with 3 buttons. So,
and give me a little explanation of like what do people use a foot pedal for most of the time?
Honestly, for streamers, one of the most common things is you'll see them either like use it for mute mic or something that like a repetitive action that you do. Another thing they'll do is like if they have set an effect or an animation to happen when pressing an effect or something along those likes. But I found out, like, I'll be honest, I don't utilize my Stream Deck as efficiently as it could. I found out that I don't know if it's on the Stream Deck itself or if it's just a pedal, but you can have the buttons or the pedal do different effects based off the program you're using. So you can have it set to have different effects whether you're on a Zoom call or let's say you open Premiere Pro. Then the 3 pedals will all have different effects based off the program. Which,
that's really cool.
Yeah, when I found out about it, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And there's a bit of me that was tempted to buy it, but I know damn well I don't need this. But it's just cool.
Oh man!
Like playing rock. It reminds me of playing Rock Band. That was always the thing with Rock Band is I could not move my limbs interdependently. I just cannot do that shit. Like of hitting the fucking pedal while also playing the drums. It seemed impossible for me. It was foreign to me.
That's how you actually play the drums, is it not?
Yeah, that's why I can't play the drums.
You can't play the drums.
I can't play the drums. Yeah, no, I can't play drums.
Or the piano?
Hey,
don't you have
piano? I
piano?
got a mean twinkle twinkle. I got a mean twinkle twinkle.
But like, aren't there pedals also for?
Oh, I didn't get to
for
that
piano?
advanced level. Piano. I got right hand and left hand, and even then, that was a bit of a challenge. No, speaking of twinkle twinkle. Twinkle Twinkle on piano.
Twinkle, twinkle.
Yeah, no. The reason why it's so interesting is because I literally just picked up a manga that is called PPPPPP because it's when you have two P's, it's I think it's like pianissimo. Basically, it's like it's quieter, and then so like the 6 P's is just like at a very soft level.
PP?
The letter P. You music illiterate animal. Not joking.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, it's just the letter P 6 times, and I've been enjoying it. It's about a septuplet, I would say. Is that 7 twins or 7 kids at the same time?
Oh, another septuplet.
No.
It's
not a trash harm manga. We don't need to go into the uplets again. No. Basically,
we got quintuplets. Now we got septuplets.
Yeah,
nice.
Basically,
we've upgraded.
One of the 7 is the only one who isn't musically gifted, and yeah, so gets kicked out. Basically, gets kicked out of the house.
Gets kicked out of the family.
Yeah.
No talent having a.
So now it's basically Guitar Heroes, Legends of Rock, where you have to beat the bosses and basically the siblings.
Oh, that's funny.
No, but it's actually been really good so far from what I've read. But yeah, the main protagonist plays the meanest Twinkle Twinkle that exists.
That's their song.
Twinkle,
that's
Twinkle,
their one
Star.
song that no one beats them in Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
And
also, recommendation, just side note, if you want to watch a good music anime or anime, I don't know if it's a manga, but Nodame Cantible is a really good music anime.
Nodame Cantible. Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
It's good music. It's a music romance anime. Yeah.
Okay.
It's an old one too.
Surprised
you haven't heard of it. It's really good.
Yeah, I might have to look it up. Maybe I'll know that'd be weird though if I
Maybe if you see it, you'll know it.
Okay.
The art style's kind of unique. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then no, from manga there's a bunch of stuff because there's those series, Rent-A-Girlfriend.
Oh, God.
The author is apparently launching a new series this month, which sounds like a dumpster fire. Like it's
Rent-A-Girlfriend's already a dumpster fire, so
it's the concept is a sibling rom-com, which if anyone who knows those words in combination can only think of Domestic Girlfriend, which, as we all know, is the pinnacle of dumpster fire.
Of trash.
It's just dumpster fire that you can't stop watching. So I'm very curious on this series. Actually, not really. I'm actually not interested. I don't even read Rent-A-Girlfriend anymore. But and then I've been reading Kaguya-sama Love is War. Finally caught up with it.
Great anime.
Honestly, we were talking about top 5 mangas. This is like, as it is right now, a top 5 for me. Top 5 manga. It's just amazing. I'm bummed that I missed out on it for so long, and I hate that I'm caught up with it. And I have to wait for weekly release. I have to wait for weekly release.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's right.
It was better not knowing, because then I didn't have this feeling like what's gonna happen every week.
Well, that's good to hear. I really love the anime, so maybe I'm gonna have to read it. But I think season 3 is coming out, so maybe I'll read it after season 3.
Hey, yeah, that'd be a good choice.
Yeah. So while we're still on the topic of manga, and I think also a little preview for next podcast as well, is I have to make an apology. I have to make an apology for something I said last week. We were talking about this question about whether you'd want to be Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen or Gojo from was it
Son of Bistal, Dress Up Darling is English.
My Dress Up Darling, yes. And I said I wouldn't want to be spoiler again. We said this last week. Spoiler. If you watched the podcast last week, we already said this. That I wouldn't want to be Gojo because I didn't want to be infested by a demon who was gonna eventually kill me.
That's
not Gojo.
Yes.
That's not Gojo. That is
That is the MC.
Itadori. Yeah, the MC Itadori. I'm ashamed, and I didn't think I'd have to make an apology this quickly into my YouTube career. But know that I am aware of it. I'm introspective. I'm looking into myself. I'm analyzing myself and trying to be better. And I will do my best.
Can you call yourself an anime fan?
I don't know. I think I'm going to have my anime card revoked. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll at least suspended, like that coach that typed in all chat.
Oh yeah. So
I think I at least deserve to be suspended.
Quick question though.
But I'll do my best to get back.
Did you know which character you were referring to when you asked that question? Because
oh no, I know who Gojo is.
Okay,
yes, he's the fucking
does
Chad.
the question does the answer stay the same?
Yes, because I think Gojo's like depressed.
Is what?
I think he's like depressed because he can't like look at people because he only sees like the infinite of the of the universe or something like that. His like eyes can only see like infinitely. Okay. That's why he has to wear the glasses or something.
You mean the blindfold?
Or the blindfold? Yes. No, but he also wears glasses. He also wears glasses in that show.
True.
He does. He does also wear glasses. They're pretty Chad glasses at the circle.
Yeah. Okay. I just had to make sure the answer stayed the same. Because
no, yeah, it's still the just normal person with like talent. I'd rather just be a normal talented person.
Amen.
If you think about it, really, like, do I want to live in a world where I could get spoilers again? I'm sorry, but I really like Jujutsu Kaisen. Have you seen?
I'm caught up on.
Yeah. Do I want to live in a world where I could get randomly blown up in a family restaurant? No. No. Yeah. I mean, I would be Gojo, who is pretty much invincible. But still.
Still. So you just out here just drawing, making traditional dolls. Yeah. I respect it.
Yeah.
That's income.
I mean, I can feel the guy. I spent a lot of high school like just playing video games and shit. It's not like we were like the most popular kid in class. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, gotta say, I hate that. I don't know. I think it's a monthly release. I wish that thing's updated weekly. That series is good.
Oh yeah, Dress Up Darling.
Yeah. But no, all I hope for is to have a good ending because I've been distrustful towards mangas. That's just how I am.
You're just like they're all gonna end bad. Yeah.
No, because of mangas, like anyone who has had the displeasure of reading Gal Cleaning would know my pain. And if you haven't read Gal Cleaning, don't waste your time. But just know it completely went off the rails. Like, I feel like the author intentionally just made it the worst at the end. And it was like, it shocked me that the editor of this series let this shit go to publication. Because if I was an editor, I saw this, I was like, are you all right, sir? Like, are you sure you don't need a break from this? Because this thing went, like, completely off the series. It was literally just a manga of, I think it's just a guy who cleans up at this girl's house. And it just went dark. It just out of nowhere, just completely dark. The art style changed. I couldn't even tell. Maybe this wasn't even written by the same man at that point. It was just off.
Oh god!
Don't waste your time in reading it. Just like look up some person's review on Mal, and you'll understand the pain.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Someone has like a vendetta. Damn.
Yeah, it was weird. That shit was a scarring experience. And then there was other mangas. That was like I think it was like Hoshino. Hoshino was another one where a guy did makeup for a girl, and that one just randomly like it was basically like you're watching Son of Bistal, so like you see the growth of the MC. Well, imagine if you get like 100 chapters of that, and then all of a sudden it seems like that shit's completely wiped like a save. That was what that other manga was like. And I'm just distrustful towards these series. Until I see an ending, it's just like, there's a little worry in me. Anxiousness.
You've been hurt before.
I've been hurt many times before by these mangas.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. This is episode 39, by the way, of the Virtually Lost podcast. I know we never
Episode
did
39?
we never did an intro.
I feel like that's our thing. Like we're looking at that. We're at the meta part of the podcast where we're just talking about the podcast itself.
Oh yeah. Once we've
But I feel like we've done just like these like what they're not cold open. Are they cold opens or like opens where we just start right off the gate? You know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because
it's just like just a natural opening. Where we just go straight to us talking. Yeah.
Yeah, because especially for first impressions, you don't want to start off with welcome to the this is the Virtual Lost podcast, which is what we previously do.
Yeah, we previously did.
Because for
welcome to the Virtual Lost podcast. My name is
unless we got like that amazing voice that would naturally draw people in. But if someone's attention spans are quick these days, and if you spend 10 seconds introducing the episode title,
unless you're like, oh, damn, that name of that streamer eludes me. Like I would like the super deep voice.
Corpse.
Yeah, Corpse.
Oh, okay.
Unless you're Corpse, yeah.
Yeah. No, we don't got this kind of voice. So we're trying to get away from that, trying different things.
Seeing what sticks. Throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah. Seeing how the viewing experience goes, because it's fun, especially when you hear feedback on episodes.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. So give us reviews. If you're on YouTube, leave a comment. You know what to do.
Goodness, are you not gonna say the saying? Smash the like button.
Smash. Yes. If it was 2015, I would have for sure.
Well, you gotta hold up for prosperity. Is it posterity's sake?
Posterity's sake. Yeah. Gotta uphold the traditions.
You gotta do it. Just
Anyways, that was episode 39 of the Virtually Lost podcast. Anything else from you, Robert?
No.
Anything else you wanted to
close out?
Shout out. All right. Thank you guys for being with us for another episode. We will see you next week.
See ya.